This is a very special 8 minutes of enlightenment because it's about my dreams. It's probably one of the more personal pieces I'll do. Richard has asked me to be honest as often as possible because, well, that's where the magic happens. So, my dreams are that I am, as I've said in other places, a Howard Hughes of social entrepreneurship, building new forms of transportation that reduce plastic waste spillage into the oceans to zero, because presently 13 million metric tons of plastic falls into the ocean every year. We've got to stop that with anti-gravity platforms that just carry all the world's commerce from one place to another without any need for pollution along the way. Fully self-contained, mature form of transportation that, while it may seem to defy the imagination right now, is certainly within reach. I see seasteading platforms that become independent nations, aligned or non-aligned with the existing financial and industrial infrastructures of the day. They can be self-sufficient, autonomous states, for lack of a better word. But we're not really talking about states as much as we're talking about communities. And sometimes in the world, we have to balance the greater good against what you would call private interest. And I think that sometimes a small, tight-knit community can do a lot of good for itself without stepping on anyone's toes, as long as it's semi-autonomous. And again, not flying in anyone's face. What if they did great good for the world, like reforesting nearby nations with which they share a hemisphere? Say this is in the Southern Ocean, south of Southern Australia. Say this is on a seamount somewhere out there in the 42 latitude thereabouts region, like we are here in Oregon, but this is south latitude. That would be an outstanding location for a seasteading platform that was self-sufficient in energy and food, that was self-sufficient in culture, didn't need the internet because it made its own plays and its own music. It had a huge community of art and artists there. These are my dreams, okay? And my dreams are very hard to express as if they're anything other than emergencies, because I hear the sirens of the future, the crisis that is coming down from the future. If we don't learn global stewardship, if we don't learn regenerative systems, if we don't reinvest in nature, then actually, to some extent, semi-autonomous, self-sufficient living situations are going to become an absolute necessity, and the skills to build them and run them are going to be very much in vogue before the 2100s. So this is an area of career development for anyone who's developing their human capital. Think of semi-autonomous, self-sufficient living environments, whether above ground, underground, or in space, undersea, on sea, over sea. What if you had a free energy machine that could run an amazing anti-gravity system that meant you could have cities in space or near space, and you could build machines to safely extract minerals from asteroids or whatever you need to build space cities, and you can grow your incredible fleet of ships over hundreds of years like is depicted in Star Trek, and you take the long view, not the short view, and the planet is not expendable. We reforest everything. We regreen the deserts. We restore the orgone envelope of the planet. We employ non-invasive technologies, and we let the ecosystem goods and services be restored so that the planet's natural homeostatic equilibrium is also regained. So without those things, my world seems doomed. You know, I want to be these solutions. I want to be the change. And that's hard. It's like the sword of Damocles hanging over you, and only with the help of family and friends like Richard here playing the guitar do I know that there's any hope for the realization of our dreams. Because the odds are fairly steep against them in many respects right now. Look at South America on Google Earth. Go to Google Earth and scan the entire length and breadth of South America, okay? It'll look like a giant Godzilla came and scratched all the forests away in huge areas. Go just zoom in wherever you see scars on the earth. Just take a look. Brazil in particular, okay? I'm just saying. Everyone has to become a Lorax. Everyone has to speak for the trees. Everyone has to stand up for natural systems and regenerative potential in our economies and our communities. If we don't embrace these time-honored principles of restoration and renewal, what will happen is not even worthy of describing, because it will be so pressing and so ominous what we will bring upon ourselves that it will take Herculean efforts to recover from a climate crisis, from a world food crisis. Let's not end up in the world of Interstellar where people are dying because all the food is getting attacked by pests that are uncontrollable and resistant to pesticides and herbicides, and all the topsoil is blowing away into the atmosphere, causing huge dust bowl effects. That's the projected future of 60 years from now in one artist's eyes. But listen, folks, let's not make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. Buy local. Feed your farmers and they'll feed you. Start a local slow money movement. Invest in your food system as if food, farms, and fertility matter. I'm speaking from experience because I've done many of these things. And become a grower of some one type of vegetable or fruit that you like. Just do one well. If you don't think you can do a whole spread, don't do a spread. Just do one fruit, one vegetable. I grow tomatoes and I grow beans. That's right, tomatoes is a fruit. So, ladies and gentlemen, the great thing that hampers genius is trying to do too much too soon, but it's better than too little too late. Listen to the music now. Feel your connection to time. Feel your connection to life. Feel that you are the soul of wit. Feel that you are the dream of the dreamer. And feel that you have a heart beating for the good of all. These are our creeds in the Aquarian Age, and these are our times.